Hello, hello, hello. Is this thing on? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Once again, live on Twitch. It's Bose 831 Gaming. Live on Wednesday night. Once again, we're live on Twitch in Farming Simulator 22. And this is a continuation of my Twitch live stream series for Farming Simulator 22, and we're on the ELM Creek farm, and let's get into it. Of course, before we get started, I want to welcome everyone to the stream. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. Just want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support, and continue to keep watching. We'll continue to grow together and learn together, and then let's have fun. Let's get into it. We're jumping in right somewhat from where we left off last week. We were in the process of selling some of our finished products from our production chains. In this case, we were selling our bread, which is at its best price in the month of December, going back to the prices calendar. We can look here on the chart, and you can see here, looking at the flow chart, in December is one of the best months to sell bread. And we're on day one in December, and we pretty much sold all the bread that we had available. If we go look at our production chains and look at what we had in storage in our production warehouse, pallet and storage, and it's a pallet storage and logistics warehouse, and we can go to, if we go look at our bread, we're down to one pallet of bread now, 1,095 liters. So we've sold all the bread that we can sell for today. Once we're finished with the day's activity, we'll then advance to day 2 in December and see if it's worthwhile to even make an effort to sell however many pallets of bread are produced between day 1 in December and day 2 in December, which again is because I'm playing 2-day months. Basically, day 1 is the 1st through the 15th of the month, and day 2 is basically the 15th through the 30th or 31st of the month. But we'll see how much bread is produced in between today and tomorrow, and see if it's worth making some additional trips to our sale points to sell any more of the bread that's produced. But before we jump into something else, let's make sure we've done everything else we need to do today as far as taking care of our animals. We've sold all the bread that we can sell. There's no crop concerns that we need to be worried about, I don't believe. Let's go check out the crop calendars. Nothing's up right now. Don't think anything. Well, let's look at it from one other perspective. We shouldn't have any crops that need to be sprayed with herbicide or anything else. We got our oat fields growing, grapes growing. Let's see here. Make sure we're not missing anything. Let's have barley over on 54. Wheat's over on 42. Grapes are on 43. Canola is on 45 and 46. Grass growing on 47, 48. Let's take a quick look at the grass real quick, because I'm not sure where I was at on the grass now. So let's walk over here real quick and touch on that. Let's see, grass is still in the early growth state there, so we're good. All right. And just one other thing I want to touch on that was really a bit of a major development between my last stream and today's stream. We had an update that went live on the game yesterday. There was a patch to a patch or a game update Uh, we're on version 1.7.1 of the game now, and included in the update was a little bit of free content. They actually added some more Valtra branded tractors to the game, and we can go take a look at them real quick in the shop while we have a moment. Well, let's do it this way. We'll just go right down to Valtra. And the tractors that we added, we initially only had the Valmet 8750 in the game, and now they've added the A series, the the G series was in the game too. They added the A series, the N series, the T series, and the Q series to the game. The base game had the Valmet 8750 and the G series, I believe. So they've added a lot more free content to the game in the form of some additional Valtra branded tractors. And for your fans of Valtra, this is good stuff. So you definitely want to check those out on your leisure. Since I'm not doing a series on it per se, I'm not going to go into all the particulars of the features of each individual tractor, but you can definitely check that out on your own time. I'm happy to see the Valtra tractors are back in the game. I tend to lean towards playing with more so American branded tractors, but the Valtra tractors are very nice, and I have played with them on different stuff I've done offline, and they're really nice looking tractors, so you definitely want to check those out when you get a chance. But enough on that. Also, again, the game also had a patch, and that was part of that package as well. And again, the game is updated now to version 1.7.1. So, and there were a lot of miscellaneous fixes that were included in that game update. And you can go to the Farming Simulator website to check out the details as far as what else was updated in the patch notes and a lot of that other information. You can all find that on the Farming Simulator website. But again, I'm not going to really get into that because my live stream series is mainly about doing stuff on the maps and playing the game. You can check out some of the other content providers, some of the larger YouTubers or other content providers on YouTube for more detailed information about these updates and patches, as well as daily mods that are released and all that information. My suggestions are some of the big guys like Mr. Silly P, DJ Goham, Driver 53 is another good one. And of course, if you haven't also I recommend you also check out 82 Studios on YouTube, a very good modder, and I use a lot of 82 Studios content in my gameplay and my series because I love their content, his content, I should say. That's David. But I'm sure there's a lot of other great YouTubers out there, but definitely want to check those guys out, and they can definitely get you started on YouTube as far as like some of the additional details about the mods and modders and news in the community and so on and so forth. That's not my particular lane at this point in time, although it could be in the future. But again, we'll see as things grow in progress where this is my starting point, but where I end up in the future. My trajectory may change over time. We'll see how things go. But enough on that. Let's get into it. We're ready to advance to the next day. I think we're all good to go and everything. So let's go ahead and move on to day 2 in December. All right, we got a great demand at feeding grain south. What the? I don't usually pay attention to them all the time, but let's take a peek at that one there. What is the great product that's in great demand today? All right, there it is, wheat. Wheat is in great demand at Feeding Grain South. I think that's the only one. Yep. All right. So if we had a wheat to sell, we can definitely get a great price on it today. I don't have any wheat to sell at the moment. All right, so let's first of all just kick it off by getting into our daily farm activities. You know the drill. Let's start off by feeding the chickens first. And that's mainly what I use my barley crop for. Once I have enough barley in the silo, I may also look at focusing on selling some of my excess barley as well, but I still just keep this mostly on hand just as a feeder crop for my animals. Alright, chickens are fed. We can come back and put the rest of this back in the silo. I don't necessarily need to keep this much barley on hand to feed the chickens, but I'm just mainly growing barley, at least on this playthrough, for right now at least, is just for a feeder crop for the chickens. Next up, seeds. Same deal, we just kind of filling it up. And this time the seeds are going to the greenhouse. Again, if you're just tuning in and wondering what's going on while you're taking seeds to the greenhouse, I have modded greenhouses installed in my game. The greenhouses take additional products and in turn produce additional output. One of those inputs is seeds. Alrighty. And the way I got the greenhouses lined up is this is an effort to, in theory, make only one pass through all of the greenhouses and fill all of the fill points in one pass and not have to go back and forth. It doesn't always work out that way, but that's what I was going for here in this setup. And I can't exactly see where the triggers are at. The game doesn't really indicate them exactly, so I'm just kind of guess where they're at based on the doors in front of the greenhouse. This was something I forgot to look at too. I meant to. I had made a mental note to myself that I was going to test this off camera so I can figure out, do some testing to find out exactly where the trigger is offline, so I can kind of have a better idea. But I didn't get a chance to get around to that. But I still need to test that. Alright, where we're looking at production chains. Let's see how we did. And then going through the greenhouses, looking for seeds, and just scrolling through to see how. Did we catch them all? Looks like we did. Didn't miss one this time, and that's great. So we can drop the leftover seeds back into the silo. Next input we want to look at is manure, and we got to go over to animal barns to grab whatever manure has been created by our animals. That's our cows and our pigs, so that's our next stop. just fill up from here. Whoops. And grab all the manure that's available. And we'll take that back over to the greenhouses. Alright, and same concept here. We're going to try to hit all the trigger points in front of each of the greenhouses. Hopefully we'll get them all, but we'll check it out after we're done. And again, we're just going through in front of each greenhouse and just hitting the dump button and trying, hopefully in the effort that we are catching the trigger for each greenhouse so that we can fill up on manure for each of the greenhouses. And now we can scroll back through the production chains menu and let's see how we did. Great. Doesn't happen often, but I hit them all on the first try. Getting better at this. Maybe. Alright, so take the leftover manure back over to animal pens, but we're not going to drop it off at the animal pens. We're going to take the manure over to our mini BGA so that this manure can be transformed into digestate, methane, and electric charge. So let's get right here, start filling. This is our mini BGA. This is also a mod. And I'm just going to drop off our manure here. Back through, and from the cows and the pigs we're gonna pick up all of the manure that is currently available from each of these bunkers. And feed that to the mini BGA. Oops. Alright, and now that we fed that to the mini BGA, let's go in and to our production change menu and make sure the manure production chain is active, and it is. So now we have an incoming materials, manure 17,000 liters. And its outgoing products are electric charge, methane, and digestate. Alrighty, so we're good there. We can hop back in to our TLX 3500. Take the TLX back to the main farm. And we're pretty much done here with this part of our daily process. Alright, my apologies for my driving here. I know I'm kind of all over the place. My mind's on a million different things as I'm driving through this area. Alright, so we're done here with the TLX for now. Normally, what would be the next step in the process would be as I drop off the dump trailer and attach the water tanker trailer. And we go fill water for all of our greenhouses, but we have a mod now installed that handles that. It's called the water distributor. And as long as we keep that water tank filled with water, it distributes water to all the production chains that require water. And it does that automatically, so I don't need to manually go to each greenhouse, because the greenhouses are part of the production chain game menus. And so this water distributor will automatically distribute water to all of the production chains that require it. The only thing that I need to be worried about periodically is making sure I keep this tanker filled. But maybe we'll just for good general purpose, we'll go ahead and top that off now. We don't have to do it now, but just because I brought it up and we're thinking about it actively, let's go ahead and take care of that requirement now. We definitely don't have to, but it's just so you can get a look at what I'm talking about as well. And I placed the mod generally in the same area where the water tanker was in the base setup for this map. So it's pretty much in that same general area, but we'll go ahead and fill it all the way up to max. And there it is, 500,000 liters. We can go back around here and fill up our water tanker so that it'll be ready for when we need to fill it up again. And that's that. And the main things we're going to be working on, I think, tonight is trying to get all our production chain sales out of the way. Like I said, once we get finished here with all our farm activities for today, we'll look at production chain sales. We'll take a look at the bread and see if we have enough bread that's been produced between yesterday and today that's worth there for trying to sell. And then we'll move on to the next month. In the month of January, our cake production chain has the best price, and we'll be able to sell all the cakes that we have in storage in our warehouse. So that should be interesting. And that's kind of where we're at. I still haven't really done any expanding as far as purchasing of any other fields or any other equipment right now. Like I said on the last stream, I am thinking about getting rid of my grape orchards and putting some modded greenhouses in place of the grape orchard that grow grapes, and handling my grape production from that aspect, just to give you guys something else cool to see and just to overall change the experience. But I wanted to get a good look at how the process works with the base game equipment as well, and that's why I did the orchards the way I did them, because I had never really done grapes solid in the Farming Simulator 22 since I had it. So that was all what that experience was about. And as I'm talking, I'm just driving around randomly, so just bear with me here. Totally off on a tangent there, but we're done here with this part of our farm activity. So let's go park the TLX. At the garage. And then we're gonna hop over, not here, here, to our John Deere and our straw blower, and let's go ahead and take care of the cows and the pigs. We're going to start off the process by blowing straw into the cow barn. Since we have quite a few cows in the barn now, it's probably going to take at least about 3 entire bales of straw, but we'll see. Definitely going to go through that one. All right, down to the last 63 liters, so not bad at all. Barely got through 2 there, so next up we'll do the same thing with the pigs. All right, so that one's done. So that's 3 bales. 1 or 2 and a quarter or thereabouts. All right, so we're done with the straw blowing for now, so we can go ahead and park the straw blower back in place. Alright, disconnect. And next up, I'm going to grab the trailer for the pig feed. And we're going to bring that over here to the pig feed location. The pig feed trigger. And there it is. And drop off some pig feed. Alright, and the pigs are good to go as far as the pig food's concerned. And we just like to normally just go ahead and refill the trailer up to the max capacity every time we use it. That's what we're doing here. And then we'll swing all this back around and park the pig feed trailer back in the shed because we're done with that for now. And then the final thing we'll do today is we'll go ahead and top off our TMR mix for our cow barn. So we want to jump over, oh good gosh, to our front loader, our electric front loader. And let's go grab a couple of silage bales. Carefully grab a couple of silage bales. Because the terrain is very uneven in this area. I've tried to smooth it out, but just will not cooperate. Alright, so we're just going to drop these silage bales off here and see what happens. They took that one. I'm going to take the second one. Took both. So let's see where we're at on the silage. 110, 491. So we could probably stick 2 more up in there. And again, carefully, we're going to have to grab, this one is going to be a little bit more tricky because we got to grab, oh shucks, didn't mean to do that. I got caught up in the rafters at the top of the building. Alright, this is all sorts of fun. Alright, so that's one of the 2 that I need, but I just wanted to get it out of the way so I can come back and grab the second one. I'm going to put this over here. And grab the second one. And just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to try to see if I can grab all the ones from the top of the stack so that they won't lead to future issues. Yes. That was... I didn't mean to disturb the bales on the bottom, but I did. So that may come back to bite me in the future. But we have one of the 2. And we can just grab the other one. And we got them both on. And now we can roll back over here to the silage bunker. And drop those 2 off and see what we're working with. Alright, so those 2 both went, which was a little bit unexpected. That's right, because the silage bunker holds about 120,000, so we may be able to get 2 more in there. And again, this is not something that is required that I have to do, but I just like to work it this way. It gives me something to do, number one. Alright, we're going to drive in, make sure they're on there and they're secure. And because of the weight of the bells, it's kind of unbalancing the front load a little bit there. And the dips in the ground or in the terrain don't help that at all. And that's why you see me kind of hopping around there for a little bit. Alright, drop these two off and let's see how we look here. Alright, and that takes us to 120. So we can pick both of these back up and return them to sender. Okay, let's get on there. I don't know why the second one doesn't want to get on there, but we could push it on there with a little help from that bunker wall. And there we go again with the weight swinging me around there. Alright, and we're not going to get too fancy here. We're just going to drop these two up in front of down in front of the other two that are already here. Could have stacked them, but not really necessary at this juncture. Alright, next up, we're going to rock with the hay. And as you can see, there's still the issue of uneven terrain that makes my front loader jump around all over the place. And almost knock my bells off there. Alright, the hay is in this first bunker here. And it's the same deal. We're going to drop these two off and see where that leaves us. And took them both. And hay is at 96,980. So we may be able to get one or two more in there. And since it's just as easy to grab two as it is to grab one, we'll just grab the two that are already here. Okay, what was that all about? Alright, so we got these two on board. And same deal, same process. Let's wheel these over here, put them in place, and check out the result. And it didn't take both of them, so we can safely now leave with the understanding that we're full. So we could return both of these to sender. And next up is the straw. Before I do that, let me see if I can just pick this one over here up a little bit and move it closer to its counterpart. There we go. There we go. It just wouldn't be fun if I didn't also disturb the other bales as well. Next up is straw. We just rock with the one and then come back for the two. It all works out the same in the end. Alright, and drop this one into the mix. And let's see what it does. Took that one. I'm probably guessing only one more will do the trick. Let's go back and grab one more. And yeah, we'll just do one of the two here. That one works nicely. Okay, and we dropped that last straw bale off. Obviously, it didn't take that one in. So we know now that this bunker is filled as well. So we can take this one straw bale back to the barn. Or shed, I should say. Whoops. Went in too deep that time. That's on me. My fault. Whoopsie daisy. It's not my intent. Trying to upset the whole kit and caboodle there. I already knocked him out of alignment, and that was not my intent. Well, let's see if I can clean these two up at least. Yeah. Alright. Alright, so we're done here with these animals. We can go ahead and park the front loader. Excuse me. So let's go look at our animals menu and see where we're at. Sheep look like they're still good, so I don't need to do anything with them. Next up are the horses. We gotta get the daily riding out of the way. So let's go hop over to the horses. And while we're there, I just need to also glance at what their food and straw situation looks like. Nothing too heavy there. I could top off a straw. Maybe I'll, dang it. Maybe I'll do that at some point, but it's not a big deal right now. Alright, so daily riding it is. And we're going to start with Yankee. I say we're going to start with Yankee once I find the right buttons to push. And last episode I kind of went some different routes on my horse riding, but it didn't seem to work out as efficiently as when I take this route. And we just ride all the way out around this curve till we get to the bulletin board and then turn back around and go back to the stable, and that gets me right at 100%. It's usually I hit 50% right about the time I'm reaching this bulletin board, which if you notice has changed from what it read last week, and now it's turned into a Kubota ad, as well as the one over there to your right in the background. Notice it's also now an ad for the Antonio Carraro expansion pack. And if you remember on the last episode, those bulletin boards did not have the same information on them when we were riding the horses on the last episode. So they are dynamic. And as you can see, they can actually have real ads placed on them. And then because of that little detour I took, you see we're going to hit 100% well before I get back to the stable. Alright, jump. And there's that one. Next up, ride Poncho. Jump. And this is still like a nice little shot. If you're looking at it from a distance, you can see the ELM Creek water tower in the distance there. Nice little shot. Since it's still early in the morning, you can also see some of the dynamic lighting effects over there in the background as well. It's showing, see the little morning fog out there in the background. And as the day progresses, the lighting will change. The position of the sun, position of the shadows, it's all nice little subtle touches that, you know, you don't really notice. And I'm sure a lot of players even take it for granted. I'm not gonna say my exact age, but I'm a very old school gamer, and I'm come from the area. I grew up in an area where I got to see gaming and computing not only develop, you know, from being nothing. You know, I was part of the generation in the 80s when the personal computer first came out, and to see where games and gaming have advanced from there. And I think I've discussed that on some earlier streams as well. I'm pretty sure I talked about when my family rented the first video game system we had. It was the Magnavox Odyssey system, and that was just to play what we called back then TV tennis, but which many folks probably know as by its proper name, which is Pong. Spirit's up next. That was my introduction to gaming, is playing Pong on a Magnavox Odyssey system. Later on down the line, back in those days, once video gaming started to pick up steam a little bit, there was branded standalone Pong consoles that you could buy that actually had other games such as this other old school game called Breakout, where you're literally bouncing a ball up against some blocks. And well, you can look it up online, but it's basically like a version of Pong, except you're bouncing the ball off of a wall, and the wall is made out of blocks. And when the ball hits the blocks, they start to break apart. Where was I? I just lost my train of thought there. But that's how gaming started, and I was kind of around for some of that. You know, the first console system I owned personally was the ColecoVision system. And I think I've talked about that in previous streams as well. My first modern age console was actually the original Sega Master System. I also owned the original PlayStation. And I think it was Generation 2. I think it was. I owned the, what was it, the PlayStation. At one time I had everything. I had the original Xbox console, the Duke. I also owned a Sega Dreamcast. That was one of my favorite systems of all time. Okay, there's. Yeah, that one was not at 100%. Alright, so who's left? Alright, why am I stuck in the fence? Why am I stuck in the fence? Alright, that was weird. I was literally stuck in the fence. I couldn't move, I couldn't jump, I couldn't do anything. Okay, you've been ridden. Applejack has not. Alright. Now where was I? At one point I owned the, what was it? I had the PlayStation 2, the Nintendo Wii, and the original Xbox all at one point in time. And that's when I kind of came to the realization that I only need to own one system at a time. I know a lot of guys own both in the current gen. A lot of guys do own both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series. But I'm not per se one of those guys, not because I'm a homer per se, but I don't even have enough time in my life to keep up with everything that's out with the Xbox. And you know, the Xbox library is in some cases not as deep as the PlayStation library, at least as far as the AAA games are concerned, and that we all understand that, and that's kind of a known fact. But there's certainly one or two PlayStation games I would like to get into if I had the opportunity, if I own a PlayStation as well, and that's definitely the Spider-Man game. And I could go out and grab a PlayStation at any time and do as such, but I just don't have the time to even keep up, like I say, with all the stuff that's on my Xbox. So just to have another one, just to say I have it, just to kick dust, not so much. But maybe at some point down the line, I may still end up picking up a PS5 at some point, but nah. And most of my investment is in the Xbox, because I have a lot of digital games, even though I'm still one of those pro disc consumers. But a lot of my digital investment in gaming is in the Xbox games. So I didn't want to lose access to all of those games as well. So that's why it kind of influenced my decision in this generation, why you know, I went with being team Xbox again, you know, instead of being team PlayStation or anything in between. Alright, so all the horses are good. So I do kind of have a bit of a bias towards Xbox, but I'm not per se like a hardcore fanboy for Xbox in that regard, not 100% at least. I am an Xbox fanboy, but not hardcore by any means. And that's mostly just because of what my ownership investment is in the Xbox brand to a certain degree. But don't get it twisted. I could go out and buy a PlayStation 5 at any time on a whim if I chose to do so, and buy Spider-Man and so many other games and have at it if I wanted to do so at any time. But that's just not where I'm at right now. Alright, so we got the horses taken care of. So we're done here, and now we can go ahead and, like I said, let's take a look at the production situation. Alright, well, let's go to the warehouse, and we're looking at bread again. Alright, so 6,000 liters of bread, so that's roughly 6 pallets. That's not even worth making a trip to the cellar. So we just leave them in the silo in the warehouse. 6 pallets is nowhere near worth that effort. Alright, so I think we're done here. Let's check on our crops and make sure we're not missing anything there. Checking out the crop calendar. No crops here that we need to be worried about. We can't put down oat until March. We don't put down sugar cane until March. We don't put down a corn until April. And our sugar beets in March. And our sunflowers also in March. So nothing we can plant now unless we wanted to switch up the crops, and still we wouldn't be able to switch up the crops until February. And we could put cotton down, but cotton is a better crop suited for when we have gigantic fields, so that we can get something out of it. Alright, but that's where we're at. The last, why are there stones there? What? Oh, that's not mine. I'm like looking like, wait a minute, why are there stones on my field? Alright, so the last thing we want to take a peek at real quick is just my grass field, just to make sure I'm good there. Let's hop over here and do it this way. By the time I took all them steps, grass is still growing. Alright, so we're good. As you can see with the sheep, still got 3 bales of food there, grass there. So we're ready to move on to January, and we're going to start this process all over again. So let's go. Whoops. I've been going to TLX, yeah. And we're just going to be repeating this stuff all over again. Alright. And this time, we're just going to deal with the greenhouses. I don't think I'll really worry about topping off the animal food today. If so, we'll do that off camera. But we will go through everything else. I'll probably do the horse riding off camera as well for today, just so we can get into the selling of the cake. But first, let's feed the chickens. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. Sounds like it didn't want to go. I was wondering what the heck was happening there. If I had a really large barley field and I had enough barley, harvested barley in the silo, I would definitely sell some of my excess barley and then keep about 15,000 liters or so in there just for as a feeder crop for my chickens. But otherwise, you know, just keeping the barley just for the purposes of feeding the chickens. Next up is the seeds for the greenhouses. And again, the trick here is to try to catch all the trigger points. Even though we can't see exactly where they're at, we're still trying to catch all of the trigger points, or at least where we think they're at. Not even going to worry about checking on it this time. It is what it is. We're going to keep it moving. Alright, leftover seeds back in the silo. And we're going to go grab our manure. And it should be the same process for the manure. Start filling. Let's fill it up to the max because we can. And the next stop is the greenhouses. And it's the same process for each of the greenhouses. just want to make sure we're catching each of the trigger points. And that's in front of each set of double doors. And again, in this scenario, I'm not concerned with them being all perfect. Just as long as we're hitting most of them, that's fine for the purposes of what we're trying to accomplish right now. So we're good there. Then we can take the leftover manure back to the BGA so it can be reprocessed into that gestate, electric charge, and methane. Just going to gather up all the manure we can between the two bunkers. It looks like everything is mostly in the pig bunker today. And just dump all that into the mini VGA. And let's take a look at it to make sure everything is operating correctly. Yep, 17,704 liters of manure. So we're good there. Take this truck back to the main farm. Alright, and let's hop over to a cow and a pig barns. And we're going to grab our straw blower. And I'm going to distribute straw to our cows. And then we'll do the same thing with our pigs. Well, that takes care of that, but we're down to 2 straw bales in the blower, so we're gonna go ahead and reload the blower with straw. So we're gonna grab our straw bales from the straw bale stack carefully. You see, we already got one that's trying not to be cooperative right now, but we can fix that quick, fast, and hurry, like so. Alright, and here's how we're gonna do it. We got 2 on the... Alright, let's see. That's over the edge. We need to realign that just a little bit. And nope, still on the edge. Realign. Is that it? That's, oops. That's not where I was trying to go. Realign. Back up. Back up, back up. I mean, go forward. Alright. We want to just drop these bales right in there. If we do it right. Nope, we're too far over the edge on this side. Back up. Back up. There. There we go. But we want to get this one where it's closer to the front. So that when we come with the other 2, we can have them at the back. So let's get you right about there. Perfect. So we grab the 2 more. Coming in from a slight angle here. Alright, it's gonna fall off. We don't want you to fall off, but you're gonna fall off anyway. Alright. Alright, so we'll drop these 2 in neatly and precisely. Like how I did that. Let's see if we can push the whole lot of them forward. Of course not. Nah, each bale wants to be an immovable object, huh? Alright. Let's get the stack. Alright, get that aligned and position where I want it. And we'll... Alright, let's do it this way. Okay, there we go. I'll get you to move one way or the other. Alright. That was not what we wanted. Alright, we got you turned completely sideways. That's not what I was going for. Alright, let's do it this way then. They're making me work for it. And as you can see today, we have snowfall in January. Alright, let me see if I can grab this bale. Alright, get it on there the way I want to. Nope. Gotta be in a precise spot, or we're still gonna be looking at it sideways. There we go. Alright, still not precisely where I want it. And I'm about to turn it over. There we go. That's where I want it. Alright, and let's see if I can grab these other two and get the same result, or similar results. First thing first, they're spread out too far apart. So that's the first issue we need to take care of. So let's do that this way. Push them closer together. Then come back around and pick these two up. And hopefully we can do a better job of stacking these two in by the other one without totally disrupting the one that we have already properly in place. And there we are. That's it. So that's what we were looking to accomplish there. So we We can park the front loader. We don't need it anymore at the moment. Our straw blower is loaded up and ready to go. So we can let that go, and we just need to grab our pig feed and go ahead and take care of getting our pigs fed real quick. And try not to run into the feed silo. And as the pigs get older, they're going to consume more and more feed. Still not too bad right now. But as they get closer to being full grown, they're going to start to consume a lot more pig food. Just going to refill the pig food trailer, top it off, so it'll be ready to go for when we need to feed the pigs again in the future. And that's it. Like I said, we're not going to top off the GMR mixer setup for the cows today, but we do want to take a look at it. And if we were to throw some bales on it, it would only be bales for hay and silage, but we'll do that on another day, so that we'll have more traction there. And normally we would hop over to taking care of the horses next. I kind of want to get on to the business at hand before we end today's stream. Let's go over to our prices menu. We'll switch over to the seasonal fluctuations view. We can see what products are have the best prices in January, and going through the production chains that we currently have on the map. Cake is one of those production chains, and as you can see, it has the best price in January, and that's the only active production chain we have on the map, because we also have the greenhouses with lettuce, tomatoes, and strawberries. Those are set to auto sell, but we were doing manual selling. We would also sell the tomatoes in January as well, and as well as strawberries. But those are set to feed our production chain, so we don't have to worry about those, and those are taken care of automatically. So next up is working on getting our cake sold. So we want to flip back over to the buying and selling section of the prices menu and see which buyer is giving us the best price for cake currently. And we see the fast food restaurant is at $6,278. The Walmart grocery is at $6,852. And Red Marble Bowling Restaurant is at $6,276. So Walmart is giving us the best price. We're going to go ahead and tag that spot just for general purpose. And We already have our tractor and our trailer ready to go. Loading and unloading for the cake production. So we're gonna just take this setup on over to our logistics warehouse and load up some cake. Now let's again take a quick look at our production chains menu, and this is our view of the logistics warehouse. And as you see, we got 40,000 liters of cake currently stored in the warehouse. And this trailer that we're using here is one of our autoload trailers. This is the let me go to that menu here. Own items. This is the TLX 2020 box set trailer by 82 Studios. And as you can see, it's autoload trailer for all of your, pretty much all of your production chains and all of your, pretty much all of your production chain products. Alright, so we're going to set that to open and just back the trailer into place so that the autoload function can start picking up the cake pallets. And where are we at here? Why is nothing happening? Not quite sure why it's not auto-loading any of the cake pallets. Okay, it started, but why did it stop? There we go. Uh-oh. That was close. For some reason it dropped in bread instead of cake. I don't know why. So we're gonna have to bring these out manually, just so that we don't accidentally overwrite the and I don't know why that happened. Yeah, it's dropping in bread when I remove the cake. That's interesting. Alright, so I'm wondering if I move the bread pallets and stick them back in there, will it give me... Why can't I not move? Why was there force field that where is not allowing me to move just now? If I stick the bread back in there, will it give me cake or bread? Bread. Alright. Weird, weird, weird. Alright, well, he's gonna stick the bread back in there. Even though it's keeps giving me bread. Alright. We gotta do this the hard way because the game is kind of doing something weird on me here. Just a little bit weird. So I'm trying to get to the cake, but instead it's giving me bread instead of cake. It's pushing bread to the top. I don't know why, but we'll just have to continue to roll with what's the game is giving us now, because I don't, at least on console, I don't know if we have ability to control this, what the warehouse is spitting out. But if somebody that's watching knows if there is a way, please let me know in the comments. So maybe I should have emptied out those 6,000 liters of bread after all. Alright. So having to do this a little more manually than I thought we would. And the game is literally throwing me bread pallets instead of cake pallets. But we got that under control too. We'll just pull all the bread out. Yep, so I guess that's the game's way of letting me know I should have sold all of the bread before we got to the cake. Didn't think that would be necessary, but it appears I was mistaken. Alright. Alright, there's some cakes. Alright. So if we pull all this out. Dang it, I meant to pull the bread too. Alright. Now we're getting cake. Now we're getting somewhere. And just figuring out how to do this so that we get the product that we're looking for, and also being careful not to accidentally overwrite the product that we have loaded in the trailer. Let's see if I pull these two out. Will I get cake or bread? Cake it is. That's what we're looking for. And these weird game physics. And this stuff only really weirds out like that when you're carrying something. And this is a risky course of action, but I'm going to try to see if we can back up and just auto-load cakes from this point going forward. Just carefully back up until we See the numbers start moving. Nothing else. There we go. And hopefully this will be all cakes popping in from this point going forward, and we won't be in for any surprises. And as you can see, sometimes with the auto load trailers, and you kind of have to play around with everything to get it to do what you want it to do. And again, if we were playing on realism, we would have a pallet fork and we would be literally manually loading up the trailer via the pallet fork. Just really just stacking up pallets and strapping them down and making multiple trips to the sale point. And auto loading is really just a time saver. It's definitely just all about, again, we've had discussions about this on previous streams, and just all about how you want to play and your play style and what's fun for you. And even with this auto load, it's still going to take us a little bit of time to get trailer filled. Alright, we're getting dangerously low here, so we're down to here. Yep. I pulled out just in time. Good, 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 good. As you can see, that's a pallet of chocolate. We don't want chocolate, but we do want cake. So we want to take this pallet of chocolate and move it. Not ready to sell chocolate today. And let's pull this stack of cake out of here as well. And you should see chocolate come in its place. Nope, we still had a few more cake pallets pop in, surprisingly. Oh, that's right. That's probably coming from my industrial bakery, because I think my industrial bakery still had a lot of cake. Yep, the 6,000. Yeah, let's see. But I should have taken everything out of there. Let's see. Yep, that is 6,000 liters, so that's another 6 pallets of cake. So now I think we should be getting chocolate from this point going forward. Nope, still gotta get through those 6,000 liters of cake. That's not all of them there. So if we move those 6, Do we start? Nope. Still a few more. All right. You just want to make me prove me wrong today, don't you? Pallet storage warehouse. Okay, that's the last one. So we gotta pull this whole stack out and drop the cake in here and make sure that we move the chocolate in a proper direction to where it doesn't override the cake. Now, dang it, I wasn't trying to knock those over. Put the chocolate back in there. And I don't know why the game physics again just tries to send me flying through the air. Alright. So we can now work on putting all these items back into the warehouse storage. And as you can see, because we put the bread back in there, now the bread's moving to the top of the stack. But again, our focus is just on the cake. And again, because this is mainly just my the OCD part of my brain kicking in now. I don't like these stacks looking crazy, so we're gonna shuffle these around a little bit. So that we're just getting straight bread stacks. Or straight chocolate stacks. Because in my head canon, it just looks better that way. And as you can see, if I don't let go of the pallet, I'm just going to continue to go flying up in the air. There it is again. Just up and away. Freeze. That's terrifying. Alright. So now it's all chocolate and all bread. Now if we move this one out of the way, will chocolate pop into place or bread? I'm just curious now. It's bread. Let's keep it going. Alright, so that's... What the heck? Why is it making me lift off here? Alright. So if we look in our production chains menu, industrial bakery is empty. And the main warehouse, if you look at bread, it's that's weird. It should be showing me on the bread, it should be showing me how many liters of bread is currently in there. Pallet, okay. Outgoing, sorry. Have to be in the right section. Outgoing products. That's still not right. Okay, building storage. Cake is 120 liters. It's showing bread is 822 liters. But that's not correct based on the bread pallets you see here. Because each of these pallets here are 1,000 liters. It should be saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. So it should be showing 12,000 liters for the bread. That's, for some reason, that's showing the incorrect numbers there, which is weird. Yeah, it should be showing the total amount of bread that's stored in the warehouse right now, but for some reason it's not updating correctly. Alright. But anyway, we have 55,999 liters of cake to sell. And we're going to take that to, going back to the prices menu. We see that the Walmart grocery has the best price for the cake. So we're going to go sell the cake. And this looks like it's going to be the last thing we end up doing on the stream for today. Like I say, I'll deal with the care of my horses off camera, so you won't have to deal with that when we come back in on the next live stream. But other than that, we'll pick off from there on the next live stream. But we'll get started on the wrap up here in the last 5 minutes of the stream. But we're at the Walmart grocery, and you can see where I have the sale point tagged. And we're gonna open the doors and try to back our trailer in there to the sale point. And we're selling cake. And like I say, we had over 55,000 liters of cake, so this should be a nice little haul. And if you remember where we were financially when we first started this series and looking where we're at now. Alright, that's a nice sum there. 383,000 plus a $45,000 bonus for the environmental score. Almost $400,000 there alone. So that's almost $500,000 in cake sold right there. Very happy with that. Very happy with that. And that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. All that hard work right there on the farm to get that finished product out to the sale points. And that's the cake production chain in a nutshell. And very, very happy with the results we got from that entire process. And it's taken a lot of work to get there, but we're there. And a winter storm to boot. Can't make this stuff up. Very happy with that. Alright, so we're coming back to the main farm. We sold all the product that we're going to sell for at least for day one in January. And given what happened with the bread that I didn't sell on day 2 in December, I might just go ahead and sell all of the cake I have no matter what on day 2 in January, given my previous experience. Even if it's not a whole lot, we'll sell it all. Keeping that in mind though, so we'll keep all of the tractor and the trailer out. Just as a reminder to myself on what we need to do when we come back in on the next episode. That'll help me jar my memory if I don't have it in my notes or anything like that. I'm gonna go ahead and close this door. But we're coming up on the last few minutes of the stream. Like I always say in my series, if you're not having fun doing what you do, then what are you doing? You can catch me on most of the major social media platforms as Bose831 Gaming. Continue to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Thank you for watching. And again, I'm Bose831 Gaming on YouTube, Bose831 Gaming on Twitter, Bose831 Gaming on Twitch, Bose831 Gaming on Instagram. I don't think I missed anything, but like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. And we'll continue to keep this thing going and growing. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and get these horses knocked out. And when we come back in on the next episode, we'll pick up from there. But thanks for tuning in. And we're just going to ride horses for the next few minutes until we get to the end of the stream. But thank you again. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. And we'll continue to grow together. I'm still working towards my goal of getting that capture card so I can start producing content outside of these live streams. And then my future goal is to get the capture card, start producing more content outside of live streams, and obviously as I get better at it, more practice, and get more knowledgeable with some of the production tools, we'll produce more improved content so you can hopefully grow together, and let's see what happens from there. And again, thank you for your support. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. And we're just gonna ride out on the horses there. Alright, what are we at? 91, 92, 95. Jump. 1%. There we are. That's one down. Let's see. Applejack. And I guess if we had more days in a month, we'd actually get to see some snow on the ground, but I'm not a fan of the longer months. It takes too long to get certain things done on the farm. And there it is. This is where we've reached the end of the stream. Again, thanks for watching. Thank you for your support. Continue to like, comment, subscribe. And I'll catch you all on the flip side. Have a good night, everyone.